You can't see the future, but if the future is exponential, like you and I both believe, then it's very bright. The question is, what's going to happen near term? I don't know the answer to that, but are we sitting here at an all-time high between now and the end of the year? We have 11 and a half months to go, and we have a big halving cycle taking place in April. Could Bitcoin get through the $69,000 level by the end of the year? I believe it will.
Yeah.
Selling will have abated from Grayscale, and the machines of Wall Street will be selling this idea to their clients.
Former White House communications director and current founder of Skybridge Capital, Anthony Scaramucci, has given his prediction for the Bitcoin bull market of 2024-2025. Mooch, as he is affectionately known, has stated his belief that the next halving event in April will usher in a period of exponential development for Bitcoin and the broader digital asset industry. Anthony discusses the two major crypto events that will occur in 2024. During his most recent conversation with Thinking Crypto's Tony Edwards, the first was January, when the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission authorized spot Bitcoin ETFs. The XWA official claims that this watershed moment will go down in Bitcoin annals as the catalyst for some of the most fruitful ETF launches ever. Anthony is positive that Grayscale selling has come to a stop, and that tens of billions of dollars are still waiting to buy into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, despite the fact that Bitcoin's price crashed before, momentarily falling below $39,000. The halving of the Bitcoin block reward in April, he predicts, will only make these issues worse. Anthony believes that Bitcoin will easily surpass the $69,000 all-time high before the year closes, as a result of these significant events. Nevertheless, this is only his base case for the cycle. Anthony has stated in interviews, including one with Reuters at the yearly World Economic Summit, that the price of Bitcoin would reach $170,000 in the year 2025. Here you may see interview highlights together with a positive analysis from Standard Chartered that predicts Ethereum, the biggest altcoin by market cap, will reach $4,000 within a few months. Watching today's video in its entirety is a must. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and enable post notifications so you never miss a video. Thank you, and I hope you find the video entertaining. I have something to convey to you that I think your audience will find thought-provoking. Doing more research on Bitcoin will lead you to favor it more. Doing Bitcoin research and due diligence is, in a manner, like buying a plane ticket to Bitcoin. To this day, I still haven't seen someone who claims to have read everything, become thoroughly immersed in the code, and now I understand the network, its decentralized nature, and the fact that it hasn't been hacked in 14 years of operation. Bitcoin is terrible, and I hated doing all the labor. So yet, no one has mentioned doing that to me. As an example of someone who would likely need to complete the homework, Jamie, we will get there. Actually, something else is happening. Regulators are putting pressure on him. The world's Elizabeth Warrens are his problems. You're under a lot of pressure as a conventional financial representative. Listen, I know this and you know it as well. You're right that JP Morgan acts as an app for individuals' ETFs. They're working on Bitcoin studies. Each group has its own currency. A part of their blockchain has been constructed. For those who have an account with JP Morgan's private bank calling and saying, "Hi, unsolicited, I would like to buy $100,000 worth of Bitcoin," or something along those lines is possible. Of course. The QCIP will be deposited into your account after they purchase it on your behalf. The Blackstone Bitcoin Trust will be sitting in an account you have with JP Morgan. Coinbase will do just well. All of these exchange-traded funds deal with Coinbase, which makes them an integral element to the cryptocurrency ecosystem, in my opinion. Against the SEC, Coinbase is presently embroiled in a fascinating lawsuit. It seems like the judge has done extensive research and is asking some extremely perceptive questions concerning the case. Tony, it's possible that the SEC may lose yet another case. Is that even possible to fathom? If the Ripple case had gone to trial, they would have lost. Grayscale was a case they would have lost. Coinbase would be against them. Regarding the way the laws are being administered, I feel it's a bit embarrassing for them at that moment. Evidently, I believe so. More concerned with pleasing political donors than with doing what's right, they're playing the role of politicians. However, Coinbase's market share will be mentioned when discussing adults in the room. JP Morgan will maintain its market share regardless of Jamie Dimon's feelings. Goldman Sachs is now involved. The asset class is maturing, in my opinion. I don't think the bigger baby firms, to use your comparison, will be too negatively affected because I simply see it as an expansion of the ecosystem as a whole. But you may invest in Bitcoin at the largest brokerage firms. It is now part of the wirehouse's core portfolios. In their total return portfolio, you can find a firm like BlackRock. It's a portfolio worth $2 trillion. Their request is just a one exposure, so they agree 200 million Bitcoin. Consider the scale of that. Remember how far we still have to go. All of these trailblazers are getting their due now that it's going mainstream, thanks to the path that got them here. However, the mainstream route is only beginning for you. Just to give you an idea, the global adoption rate is barely 4.5. In the middle of 1998, when the internet and Web 1 were first introduced, we were about that. So, try to picture where we'll be in a decade or two. Crypto proponents are quick to point out the hypocrisy of the JP Morgan CEO whenever he makes one of his absurd statements regarding Bitcoin and crypto. His firm is intimately invested in crypto and is constantly seeking for more ways to get even further into it. Furthermore, the banking and conventional finance sector are the most appropriate targets for Dimon's allegations of fraud and money laundering. Among the biggest financial institutions to face penalties, JP Morgan ranks second, having forked out $39.03 billion for 272 infractions since the year 2000. About $38 billion, representing 1/10 of the $380 billion paid by banks globally for infractions have been paid by the banking behemoth since Dimon assumed the role of CEO in 2005. Since the cryptocurrency sector poses an existential danger to the industry that Dimon represents, it is clear that Dimon is hostile to Bitcoin, but not for the reasons he has been claiming. However, Dimon and others can only provide so much anti-crypto discourse. This can't be stopped, plain and simple. During his conversation with Tony Edwards, Anthony shares his predictions for the U.S. economy in 2024, the year of the election, that, in his opinion, practically guarantees rapid rate reduction in money printing. Returning to the interview, let us proceed. Voting is underway this year. Consequently, I will make a few statements. Based on 125 years of data, the Stock Trader's Almanac shows that, on average, the market rises during election years, a trend that one shouldn't gamble against. Secondly, the Federal Reserve has indicated that it is about finished rising interest rates. Thirdly, it is an election year. And fourthly, despite their best efforts to remain politically neutral, the Fed is actually quite political, so they will likely begin slashing rates. When and by how much will they make the cuts? Also, I always assume lower and longer when they say higher and longer. What am I trying to convey with that? They likely won't lower prices until the summer, and even then, they do it swiftly. The first half, though, will likely give the idea that they aren't cutting them, and by June or July, they will actually begin to do so. The market has also risen significantly. The stock market, it has been anticipatory, so I won't be surprised if the Fed lowers rates and the market doesn't move much. Interest rates are the